Hi, this is Johnny Lewis Brown. Welcome to the channel. Being a professional actor is one of the hardest things you can choose to do. I did it for 16 years. Some of you know me from the hit TV series The Wire. Others know me from the international boxing film APNE. After that, my life took an unexpected turn, which I will explain in forthcoming videos. Recently, a very famous friend of mine called me and he said, "Where have you been? You're so hard to find. You're not on any social media." That conversation made me start this channel. This channel will chronicle my everyday life as I prepare for my next big film role in 2023. So stay with me. Welcome to the channel and stick around because I'm about to explain next how I got into the film business and acting. Okay, so how did I get into acting? It was an accident. When I was in college, about 1996, 97 timeframe, I was playing football and one of the sport counselors were going over our subjects to try and get credits. The goal, honestly, was to pick some of the easiest credits that we could get so that while we were playing and training and going through what we had to go through, that the academic sides weren't as heavy as it needed to be. And with me, it was imperative because I was actually enrolled in engineering at the time, so it was very difficult. So I needed some easier credits, if you will. So we looked at the sheet, we saw acting 101, I should say, and I said, "That's perfect. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. It should be pretty simple." That's what I thought. So essentially, my professor, her name was Gwyneth Orrell at the University of Pittsburgh. She basically was the professor for the acting class. And honestly, because I had chemistry, engineering classes, and all those things, after training table and after practice, 5 o'clock in the morning, etc., I just tended not to show up to the acting class. And one of my friends of mine that were in the same class, they told me, they said, "Johnny, man, we noticed that you haven't been kind of showing up. The next week is going to be a monologue reading. You got to show up or everyone who doesn't show up is like failing the class." So I didn't even know what a monologue was. I started looking it up and I was like, "Oh man, I got to pick one. I got to memorize this stuff. What is going on?" And long story short, I went to class that week. The teacher noticed that I was there. She made everybody in the class do the monologue before me and she made me go last. So she knew that was the first time that I was there. So essentially, she got me up. I got in front of the class. I did the monologue in front of everybody. I memorized it perfectly. And something happened. When I did the monologue, the class like stood up, started clapping. It was like a standing ovation. The teacher had this like weird look on her face. And, the bell rang and, the class was over. So I got my book bag and everything. I was ready to go. And I'm like, I'm getting out of here. And then Gwyneth Orrell, she said, "Mr. Brown, sit down." And I sat down and she came over and she sat right next to me and she said, "Where have you been?" And kind of explained. And she kind of put her hand on my arm. She said, "You play football or something?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Okay." She was like, "Is that why you're not showing up in my class early, etc.? You got that crazy schedule going on thing?" And I said, "Yeah, that's what's going on." And she said, "Okay." She said, "You haven't been showing up in my class all semester. You show up here because of the monologue reading and you do it better than everybody in the class and you just get up and leave. It's like, you're not going anywhere." So from that point on, she just said, "Listen, you're failing my class, but you have something. If you stay and you do A, B, C, and D and extra credit work, I'll make sure you pass this class." And so I listened to her. And after listening to her, it paid off. And I started showing up. I started doing the work. And after I did what I did, she introduced me to some people that were local in Pittsburgh. And I started doing television commercials. Agencies started picking me up and things of that nature. So the next step is even more important. But I wanted to let you guys know how I actually started in the acting. It really was an accident. All right, so I want to thank everyone. If this is the first time you're visiting my channel, please like and subscribe, as I got a lot more to cover. And thank you for being here. As for now, I'll see you on the next one. Ghosts.